For an artist, what better inspiration than nature? Like you said, it's different. I mean, your sunset is different every day. And I really love that description of sunlight falling on, creating those different light impressions on different leaves, I mean, different parts of the tree. That's so beautifully put. Well, it just shows how passionate you are about art.
When I used to make so many artworks and somebody would say, why are you making so many? I was like, one day I'm just going to do this. I
Huh.
want to leave this world as an artist.
Okay.
Nobody remembers an engineer or a leader, right?
Hi, Aprajita, and welcome to the About Her show. This is a show where we get trailblazing women to share the story of their lives with us, to tell us about their successes, failures, challenges, ups and downs, everything. And not only do they get a platform to showcase themselves, but they also help us to inspire other women who are listening in, women who also have dreams and ambitions, but for one reason or the other are not able to fulfill them. And of course, we also get men on the show, men who champion these women, because we believe that for a gender inclusive world, men and women have got to be allies. So, a very, very warm welcome to you.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta. I know we've been talking about this for a while, and I'm so excited to be on this platform. I've gone through a lot of interviews and podcasts that you've already done so far. And I
Okay.
think you're doing an amazing job by giving a platform to the females who have made it big, but at the same time, inspiring the ones who are still in that self-doubt mode. They
Yeah.
don't know whom to reach out to. You're just bridging that gap, and that's amazing to see.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is the whole idea behind it. And, the more, I mean, I can reach out to people, the better, it will be.
Right.
All right. So let's get started. And an icebreaker, just tell us a little bit about your early days, early life, and if you think that any of your experiences from those days helped you become what you are today.
So I think for a human being or for an individual to even dream those big dreams, it's
Mm.
the entire ecosystem comes together. It's not easy for oneself to do it by themselves. So
True.
it's the way it worked for me while I was a kid. I used to always be fascinated with colors, with nature. I used to just, stare at the sunsets and the beautiful skies changing colors, the birds, water,
Hmm.
all of that. But at the same time, my mom was the one who got me started with this little creative journey of mine.
Okay.
Uh, you remember in the older days, we used to only get camel paints, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
every camel paint used to have a little coupon inside, which used to say All India Camel Color Contest.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That was actually my, first ever uh, big interaction with the art. I was in third grade and my mom, just encouraged me to just create two posters and send it to All India Camel Color Contest. I was skeptical. And
Mhm.
third grader, would not really be one, you don't have any self-judgments.
Yes, yeah.
So you're just expressing yourself. You know that ठीक है कुछ बना दिया, all of that stuff, but you're not self-criticizing. As we keep growing old, we look at ourselves with so much of self-doubt, which is not the case with the child. So when I made those posters in third grade, definitely with the help of my mom, I would definitely give that credit to her because she gave me the idea, and then I composed my posters and sent those through my school for the contest.
Okay.
Couple weeks after, there was an announcement in the assembly that I've got the first prize in All
Wow.
India Camel Cup. So
Okay.
that was, I think, my first moral booster that okay, I can create something.
Hmm, hmm.
And there on, I started participating in a lot of art competitions, contests within the school, outside the school, and all the way through my university days. But I never thought of this as my career choice.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, You remember when we were growing up, we used to have, very limited choices, do this or do this or do this or do this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
art was a passion, and I kept painting as and when I got an opportunity to, but I didn't think of making that as a career option. So I did my master's in computer engineering,
Okay.
and hence, IT world was where I wanted to build my career.
Okay.
So I'd spent almost 17 years in the IT world
Mm-hmm.
until pandemic happened in 2020.
Okay.
And that's when I realized I was like, and I always used to say that, I'll die as an artist. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
it used to be some weird statement, and I don't know how it originated.
Mm-hmm.
But when I used to make so many artworks, and somebody would say, "Why are you making so many?" I was like, one day I'm just going to do this. I
Huh.
want to leave this world as an artist.
Okay.
Nobody remembers an engineer or a leader, right?
Do have a point. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to leave this world as an artist. And 2020 happened. Universe conspired, and I got all the signs in terms of I got a sabbatical from work because of some paperwork that was supposed to be done.
Hmm.
I thought this is the perfect opportunity for me to just paint my heart out because I never got a break in 17 years, right?
Hmm.
Uh, and those 3 months, I is so used to of this mechanical routine of 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
And I was in that routine. I was like, okay, this is my time. This is my work time. I'm just gonna paint.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
there was no social commitments.
Yes.
There were no, kids classes to take them to.
Yeah.
Husband was home. So, everything was such a set routine
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
I stuck to my routine and I just started painting.
Okay.
During those days, I just had some number in my head. I was like, I'm gonna make these many 90 days. 90 days is a good time.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I surpassed that in like 2 months,
Wow.
and I put all those paintings. And that was just, me liberating myself as an artist, right? I was painting trees, I was painting water, I was painting people, I was painting cities. I was painting everything that was coming to my mind, and I would sit anywhere and just start painting because I think this is my time. Nobody's gonna do anything with this. Uh, when I put all those artworks, small, big, whatever, in my living room,
Hmm.
uh, my husband said, "You made so many?" I was
Oh,
like, "Yes, I did." How
yeah.
about you figure out how to put them on a website?
Hmm. Hmm.
Then I started exploring for an artist website, what are the different platforms? And as I started, it was like I was just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
As I started scratching the surface, I started enjoying this.
Hmm.
And I started trying to find out more about how does this entire thing works.
Okay.
So I built a website within a month's time. I actually launched Aprajita.art in July of 2020.
Okay.
Uh, and so precisely it's been 4 years now.
Okay. All right.
Uh, but with that, I was so involved in the process
Hmm.
that I just decided to pursue this as a living.
All right.
And by God's grace, and I think by the blessings in the universe conspiracies,
Mm-hmm.
it's been, I've been getting opportunities. uh I've, whenever I was in the self-doubt, there were something, it's like a spark of hope, right?
Yeah.
Somebody would reach out for an exhibition, somebody would reach out for a magazine feature, this. I was like, no, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
I should not get distracted. And then, it's just been going on. And I'm absolutely thankful, grateful for all the people who've been part of this journey all this while.
Hmm.
And here I am. And thanks to you for giving me this platform to share this story with everybody.
Well, it is a fantastic story, and this is going to be so inspiring because you're so right. when we were growing up, we had a limited set of options to choose from as far as, career opportunities were concerned. And we pretty much towed the line. But you've been so brave to change, and so you had one set of ambitions or dreams at one point, and then you changed and if I may say so, came back to your first love in that sense. So yeah, you've done a fabulous job, and this can be and I'm sure this will be so inspiring. So tell me something. So initially, when you decided to pursue computer engineering, and then you did that and you worked for 17 years, and then you switched gears, so to say.
Right.
So there must have been challenges along the way, which, you would have faced. And some of those could have been because of your gender also. So could you elaborate on some of those?
Sangeeta, I won't lie, when it comes to doing something which is, you know, not so traditional or conventional,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
definitely takes, before you convince anybody else, it takes a lot of convincing for yourself.
true.
You have to keep telling yourself what you're doing is right, what you're doing is right.
Yeah.
Am I ready to take this challenge? And there's so many times you're in that self-doubt.
Hmm.
Of course, 17 years in the corporate career.
Yeah, yeah,
And I,
yeah.
I actually, my last job was as a VP with JP Morgan and Chase, and I was loving my job. What I was doing
Mhm.
was path breaking. I was doing strategies and transformations and things like that for the number one bank, right?
Of course,
So
yeah.
I totally enjoyed that. Plus, you cannot ignore the fact that there was a handsome paycheck coming in.
Yes, yes.
Right. So definitely it took me a while and I just kept saying this to myself. I was like, what I'm doing is right, what I'm doing is right. And I'm not starving yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I had to keep telling me this that, and I did just for what I was professionally trained. I've given enough number of years to
Hmm.
what I have learned professionally. So 17 years is a good payback time to
Absolutely.
what you were trained professionally in. And I gave my 100% to that that life of mine.
Hmm.
But here, of course, you have to give your 200%. This is your baby. And that it didn't require a motivation.
Hmm.
It was just within me. I was like, I have to make this work because I do not want to go back to the same world where
Hmm.
I am making somebody else's name popular than myself. So this is uh I used to miss those days of working in the corporate career, but the moment I would put my paintings on the wall
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
a show and I would say, this is me,
Yeah, yeah,
the high, the pride that I would get from that
yeah, yeah.
is incomparable. The
I,
happiness, the joy.
yeah,
So there are challenges, yes. One is, of course, overcoming the self-doubt, being confident in your decisions.
yeah, yeah.
Two, uh, not everybody would understand. A
Yes.
lot of my, close friends would say, this you can do as part-time. Why don't you just go back to work?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There are a lot of people who told me that. And I was like, this is not something that I can do with a 9 to 5. I want to make this my professional choice. And
Hmm.
if I have to make this my professional choice, I have to treat this as a business.
True.
I, when I was investing in, big art shows, putting tons of money into, acquiring a booth and then putting my works in this and that. Yes, towards the end of the year, I was like, oh my God, I've spent so much money.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so I would give a credit to keep me on my track to my husband because he would come and say, every business needs an investment. This is your investment.
Yeah, yeah,
And whenever I would say that, I was making good money, I should just go back. And he would
yeah.
say, you comparing your 17 years
Hmm.
of hard work and the money that you started earning after 17 years to
Yeah.
just 2 years of this journey. So until 2 years, I was constantly thinking, how will I sustain this? Because and he would say, I would sponsor this, I would sponsor that, you
Hmm.
know.
Huh.
So he was the one who just kept me uh in a very clear focus, that keep doing what you are doing.
Okay.
And then he's a consultant, he knows how to play with words. He would say, if somebody can do it, you can do it. And I was like, isn't that putting too much pressure on me? So yes, we women especially, we think that the burden of the entire world is on our heads. Obviously, and if I just go back to this incident, he was just encouraging me, but I thought it's a burden of expectations, right? Because we just treat everything as a competition, as a challenge. I
Yeah.
have to prove myself, I have to no, it's okay to make mistakes, right? It's okay to fail at times. Every time you get rejected, you are closer to an acceptance. So
True.
it's very important to just keep hearing those no's and those criticisms and all of that, and still keep going on. um so yeah, it's been a roller coaster.
I
I've
can.
had so many rejections. I've had fair amount of acceptances too.
Mm-hmm.
And hence I am where I am, and I love to celebrate every small win.
Yeah.
uh, you calling me has to be celebrated. You know, somebody reaching out to just inquire about an artwork has to be celebrated, whether that person buys it or not, because that just makes you feel grateful, and at the same time just keeps your energies aligned to what you want to do.
True, true. See, that is acknowledgement, that is acceptance, that is giving you that confidence that yes, you have arrived because somebody is reaching out to you. So
Yeah,
yes, I think that really makes a lot of difference. And especially when you've kind of switched tracks like this, you do need that confidence, you do need that support, and kudos to your husband as well. I mean, he
yeah,
is there to support you, and your partner or your family, they are the ones who have to do this for you. So
right,
definitely
right,
kudos to him as well. So,
right.
Prachita, if you were to look back on your life, do you think there was any one particular person who inspired you to do what you're doing, someone who mentored you, or maybe, helped you, define or identify what you wanted to do in life? Or even for that matter, when you decided to switch?
uh I think that's not just one person.
Okay.
Trust me, it, of course, when I look at my early life, it was my mom who constantly just kept encouraging me. But then it's the teachers in the school who had so much confidence that they would just push me in any contest or every contest
Hmm.
related to art without even knowing that would she do good or not, right? So their confidence in me, my definitely my husband and my other side of the family, my
Hmm.
in-laws have always been seeing me painting during, even during my pregnancy days, my work days, this that, and they would always come back and appreciate.
Hmm.
So all those little appreciations, friends, family, all of that. But trust me, what is my biggest mentor right now is the nature itself. As an artist, and as an artist who loves to paint nature,
Hmm.
uh, you know, nobody's a better artist than nature, really.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
doesn't paint the same sunset every day.
True. True. So
No,
very.
it's a different sense. It's a different sky every single day. It's
Yes.
a different sunset every single day. Who can be a better artist than the nature itself? So
Hmm.
I get very inspired by seeing the beauty of nature. And I feel that in this time especially, we've become so agnostic of its beauty.
Hmm.
We are so mechanical in our routines. We are just in an that we say we are in an autopilot mode.
Hmm.
Get
Hmm.
up, do this, do this, do this, do this. We
Yeah.
don't have the time to pause and
Hmm.
appreciate the blessings that nature provides us. So it's when I paint a scene of nature, I feel that when somebody puts it on the wall, at least they've got that peace inside their house. If they don't have time to see it outside, they would start appreciating it more. Maybe that would intrigue them to find more. I always tell my students as well, as like, you cannot copy a picture. You
Hmm.
have to see, you have to notice, you have to observe how the light changes in the horizon, how, when light is falling on a tree, how the colors are different on different leaves, why they are different. You have to observe as much as possible to paint it beautifully. So nature is my biggest inspiration, my biggest muse.
Wow. How beautifully you put that. And yes, come to think about it, for an artist, what better inspiration than nature? Like you said, it's different. I mean, your sunset is different every day. And I really love that description of sunlight falling on, creating those different light impressions on different leaves. I mean, different parts of the tree. That's so beautifully put. Well, it just shows how passionate you are about art. All right.
I'll show you something really quick.
Oh,
These are fall
wow.
leaves.
How
And these
beautiful.
were the actual leaves that I just placed on my painting. I
Beautiful.
just traced those out and started painting. They're all leaves from the same tree, most of them.
Beautiful.
They're all
Fall is
different.
one season when I want to be in the US because I want to see the fall colors. And though my sons have been in and out for the last 10 years, I've not been able to do it. I mean, this is really
Oh,
beautiful.
you should plan it sooner than later.
I will.
Fall
I
is just around the corner.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be I'll be happy to take you around and do a plein air painting with you.
Oh, okay. I would love that. I'll take you up on that. All right. So, Prajita, anyone who's a budding artist, who also is equally fascinated by art the way you are, what are those key tips that you would like them to keep in mind? Tips that are just top of your mind, which you think they should keep in mind if they want to pursue art?
I think the first and foremost is being authentic.
Okay.
Just be true to yourself. Do what you enjoy painting.
Okay.
Don't just play around because something is selling, something people love more.
Hmm.
If you're not able to express yourself authentically,
Hmm.
you'll lose it sooner than later.
Okay.
While growing up again, I participated in all kind. I've tried different forms of art. I've painted people. I have done still life. I've done landscapes. I've done abstract art, cartooning, poster making, all of those things. But for some reason, I just felt, it's the nature that's, even when I'm creating an abstract, I always find forms which are inspired from nature, the color schemes that are inspired from nature, because I just realized that that is what keeps me happier. And that's me, that's so it's very important to stay authentic.
Okay.
Stick to what you want to show to people.
Hmm.
Don't just follow the trends.
Okay.
Sooner or later, you will find the people who are going to love your art,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
you need just those people. You don't need the whole world to like it. Art is such a subjective thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, Even in the same painting, you may find something which is your favorite part, and I may find something else, right?
Yeah.
And so it's very subjective. So first is, be authentic. Two is, I would say, take risks. Keep changing your style. Keep evolving.
Hmm.
If you're too comfortable in your comfort zone,
Hmm.
then it is you're not evolving as an artist.
True.
And frankly, I just made a recent trip to India, and I was looking at, a few paintings which are back in India, in
Hmm.
in my house. I was like, oh, so this is what I did 4 years back,
Hmm.
6 years back,
Hmm.
and this is what I'm doing now. If I'm not seeing a progression in that,
Hmm. Hmm.
then I'm just stuck in time. And I was amazed. I was like, wow, there are so many issues in this painting. I would have done this differently today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just, being a self-taught again, I just keep experimenting with with styles, with mediums, with shapes and structures and surfaces. So yeah, it's very important to just keep exploring.
Okay.
And art definitely gives you that liberty. You
Yeah.
know,
It's art.
if you're coding, yeah, and if you're delivering training,
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever you're doing, you have confined boundaries. Art gives you such such an exposure or such an expanded platform where you're free to do what you want.
Right.
You
Right.
can paint a tree purple.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Why not? Yeah.
Right? You can paint the sky brown. Why not? I
Hmm.
actually painted one painting which is a monotone. I painted a desert and then I painted even the sky brown. Everything is brown in that painting.
Wow.
I was like, and I love that painting, you know.
Hmm.
As an artist, it's your imagination, it's your creativity that you show to people and make people see that, you know. So I think there cannot be a better platform than being an artist to just go all out.
True.
And thirdly, I would say it's very, very important to step out of the house and network. It is very important. Again, you know, I had no background with, you know, I didn't go to an art school.
Yeah.
I didn't know how this works as a business. I
Hmm.
didn't know how can I put my works out. Uh, I had zero contacts. As you know, when I looked at my LinkedIn, I was like, do I know any artists? And I was like, no, they're
Hmm.
all IT people. You know, my LinkedIn is over 2,000 contacts, and none of them had remotest connection with art.
Hmm.
And so I started with a very clean slate. But
Hmm.
the way I learned was by attending events, by going out, by meeting people, by going to art clubs, talking to people, understanding and learning and observing from all of those experiences.
Huh.
And yes, eventually I've become selective. This is what I should do. This is what I should not do. This is what I should do. This is, might not be the, you know, correct formula, but it's been working. And it's very important. I tell every artist that I meet, it's
Hmm.
like, you need to step out of the house. You
True.
need to build a network. And thankfully now I have such a huge network of artists
Hmm.
in in the US, which is again, you know, foreign land for me.
Yeah.
I moved in 2018 and 2020 is when I started this. So I had no family, no friends, no artists who were there to really mentor me. So it's all of these, you know, strangers who become now close friends who have helped me, guided me, or made me make those newer connections. So it's very important to just keep networking, attend opening receptions, attend art events,
Yeah.
attend webinars. It's extremely important to keep learning this.
So this is also part of growth and evolution, because when you keep abreast with everything that's happening around you, you learn, you grow, evolve,
Yeah,
and you build
yeah.
connections, because it's a business at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is a personal side to our lives and there is a professional side. And we always kind of struggle to strike a balance between the two. And I feel
Mhm.
for women, it is a little more difficult because society has greater expectations from us when it comes to the personal side of our lives. And so
Right.
the balancing becomes a little more harder for us. So, how do you do this in your life? How do you balance the two?
I always, you know, balancing your personal and professional life is like you're juggling the fireballs.
All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not just juggling, but juggling the fireballs and knowing that there are no safety nets, right? So you you know, when you're trying to balance too many things,
Hmm.
it's bound to happen that there are times when, you know, something you lose, something you win. You
Yeah.
know, a ball may fall down and break as well,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
can you pick it up and start juggling again? So I
Hmm.
think it's more about prioritizing what you need professionally,
Hmm.
uh, along with what your expectations are on a personal front. There are times when you are hyper creative, but at the times your family needs you more. And trust me, it's not an easy thing, because we as females, as I was saying, that we think that the entire burden is on our head, but the onus is on us to know when to prioritize saying a no for your own well-being. Sometimes you have to say yes to your own well-being and
Yeah.
say no to others.
True.
So yes, I ask for help. When I need, I tell my kids, my husband, I was like, I have something lined up. I'll be busy for next 4 days. Can you take care of this? So
Yeah.
it's very important to just say that,
Yeah.
everybody understands.
True.
Here we don't have a support system that we can hire or work with. But I'm being in India, you have so much help available from outside, so it's so much easier
Yeah.
to just let go of few things. Sometimes just say no to a social commitment when you have something very important professionally coming up. So it's all about prioritization. It's hard, yes, but you have to learn to say no. Unfortunately, we are not brought up that ways.
Yeah.
But I learned that quite late in my corporate career as well. When I started burning down, I was like, you know what? I I have other things to take care of beyond just work. So I started, you know, gathering that courage to say, no, I cannot complete this by this time. We have another team member. Can you pass it on?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It really took me a lot of, cautious effort inside me to start saying no. But now I just say no. I was like, no, I will not be able to meet you because I have this event to attend. Oh, that's just an event. I was like, that's very important. As I said, networking, networking, networking.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you don't do that, if you don't prioritize that. So even last night, I was in the city just to attend an artist dinner. I went all the way to New York City, which is almost a 2-hour commute for me. And I came home at around 1:15. I took wrong trains. I missed those. It was, but that's work for me.
Yeah.
If I'm not able to prioritize that, then I'm doing something wrong. And I'm not doing wrong to somebody. I'm doing wrong to myself. And
Very,
it's very important to just have that clarity in your head, what you want to prioritize when.
very well said. You need to know what you want, and then need to be able to do it by refusing to do certain things, saying that no, which is difficult but not impossible.
Right.
Right.
And ask for help.
Yeah.
People.
Reach out.
Yeah, it's all right. Nobody's gonna judge you that you can't handle. You're human, right? It's okay to sometimes say, I can't cook.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't. And sometimes I stay up for till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. painting, because just in that zone, right? And next morning, I'm not able to get up and help my kids for their school lunch or this and that. But they say, Mom, you slept late. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually everybody will, trust me, people come. Your family is the first, is your first support system.
True.
And then there is so much more that you can reach out to when you need help.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Okay. So, Prajita, well, while we are leading our lives, doing everything that we want to do, we do encounter setbacks, disappointments when things don't happen the way we want them to or the way they should. So, when you're faced with such a situation, how do you keep yourself motivated?
As I said, that, every no is
Okay.
bringing you closer to a yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And trust me, I've had my share of rejection. I still get rejected. I apply for shows. I still get rejected, and that's going to keep happening. I'm not somebody who's, all of us are imperfect, and accepting those imperfections is fine. Take that criticism as a stepping stone. It's very important, but staying focused on what you want.
Hmm, hmm.
I when I used to have so many artworks interest me, a close friend of mine came and said, "Oh, you have so much in your studio. Why don't you put them on sale?" I was like, "Why?"
Hmm.
I was like, "Did I put less effort in any of those that I should just put them on sale?" I was like, "Whosoever deserves it,
Hmm.
whosoever values it,
Yeah.
would get it. I want somebody to say that I have something from Aprajita on my wall rather than say, I got a good deal."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Got
was very clear what I wanted.
it. Hmm.
I was not looking for those, smaller wins.
Okay.
I am still very clear of where I want to be. And trust me, Sangeeta, there were times when I would just say, my husband, again, we both come from a corporate world. So every January,
Hmm.
what's your vision for this year? We would
Hmm.
have those
Yeah.
conversations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you want to see yourself? What's your vision for this year?
Hmm.
And I say, you know what? I have to have a studio in New York City,
Okay.
and my studio should be just filled with private collectors, and there
Wow.
should be an auction going on.
Great.
That was just a vision.
Hmm.
And you don't, again, as I said, that, the entire universe has been very kind to me.
Hmm.
When I was showcasing in Art Basel, Miami last year,
Hmm.
uh, Park West Gallery's COO, he
Hmm.
walked into my booth and he's like, "Oh, these are your works?
Hmm.
They're stunning. We
Wow.
want to have you as one of our artists." And that's how the conversation started. And in last 2 months, I've had two private auctions with them.
Wow.
They conducted VIP auctions with a set of selective VIP art collectors that they have on their list.
Okay.
So the room was just full of those art collectors. I walked in
Hmm.
and all my artworks were revealed and there were auctions. So, you have to be clear in your thoughts. You have to have a vision.
Hmm.
If your vision, and trust me, it just happened, you
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
and uh I knew it would happen sometime.
Yeah.
But again, I'm thankful that it's been 4 years and this
Wow.
is this is this is happening.
Great.
Now people have started collecting my works from an auction, which is I can only be thankful to. So
Absolutely.
yes, resilience, taking criticism in a positive stride,
Yeah.
and staying focused on your goals is very, very important.
True.
Have clarity of mind.
Yeah.
Don't get distracted. Just don't get distracted. There
Correct.
will be so many people who are giving you ideas, advices, but if you don't know what you want to achieve, it's very hard. Nobody can help.
True. So, Prajita, you and I, we have kind of, been through a lot in terms of, our career goals and choices and all of that. And we've reached a certain stage, right? But when you look at the young girls of today, so much of knowledge, so much of awareness, so much of exposure, but there is a lot of confusion also. Because, information overload is something that they're dealing with. So, if
Right.
you were to offer some advice to the young girls of today who are on the threshold of their personal or professional lives, what would you like to tell them?
First of all, I think we just need to make them realize that gender bias is a nuisance. You
Hmm.
know, you don't have to underestimate your capabilities simply because you're a female. You know, there is there's nothing that you cannot achieve,
Hmm.
and it's okay to take risks.
Mhm.
Take risks sooner, because you would you have a long life
Yeah, yeah.
to take more risks later. So
Hmm.
take risks sooner, believe in yourself. uh you know don't undermine your values, your capabilities, by these social conditioning that being a female you cannot do this, being a female you can't do, you should not do this.
Hmm.
uh trust me, I come from a very, very small town. You know,
Hmm.
it's even hard to find it on the map.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, but the values that I grew up with, and I used to always, when I was growing, I was like, my dad is so strict. My dad is so strict.
Hmm.
Trust me, he gave me the wings the time I needed those.
Hmm. Hmm.
But he kept me focused and confident in myself uh, when was that age of, being confused, being distracted, being this, being that, right? So I, I totally owe to my parents, and same ways when we are bringing up our kids, it's very important. I have two daughters,
Okay.
and I just tell them, I was like, and they of course see me as a role model, and I that that burden of expectation too, that I have to make this work because I want to create an example for them,
Yeah.
that it's okay to change your traditional path and do something that you believe in very formally.
Mm.
But not everybody gets a living example in front of them, so it's very important to keep telling them to dream,
Hmm.
keep telling them to believe in their thoughts and ideas, and try to support them the best way possible, as parents,
Yeah.
as mentors, as teachers, as relatives,
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm.
It's we again, I just keep going back to this self-doubt thing,
Hmm.
because unfortunately that's our social conditioning.
Yeah.
We are told so many things, and those are all unconscious biases that not just us, the society also has about us, right? When I was in my corporate career as well, there were so many times I was undermined. I was like, why?
Hmm.
And trust me, it was the right kind of mentorship, right kind of leadership, or people that I had met in that life,
Hmm.
that helped me, being more courageous,
Hmm.
uh, and just believe, say what you think or what you believe in. So it's very important to voice out.
Yeah.
If you'll keep it inside yourself, nobody would know.
Yeah.
It's very important to say things that you want to do. It's very important to share the challenges that you're going through.
Hmm.
It could be physical challenges, mental challenges, challenges with relationships around, but just voice them out, because they become toxic over time.
Right.
And as I said, it's very important to think about your own well-being.
Right.
You
Right.
cannot be a star every day.
Yes, you can't.
There are times when you just want to lie down and be nobody,
Yeah.
right? And it's okay, as an artist, again, I I face I've faced a lot of criticism too. What are you doing? This looks like a picture. Well, somebody would buy a photograph rather than buying your painting, and this, that. I was like, that's all right. So
Mm.
that somebody is not my my somebody who should have my artwork, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, that's all right. Uh, did that stop me from trying something new? No. Did it stop me from kept doing what I was doing? No. So yes, I'm maintaining that right balance in doing what I love to do, but I experiment with the styles. I experiment with the mediums and stuff like that. So it's, the whole idea of giving this example is that have an open mind,
Yeah.
try things, take calculative risks. When you're taking bigger risks, have few people confiding in you, because you would need them. You would
Yeah.
need that support in case things don't go the way you were planned,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's just stay confident, just stay resilient, be focused on what you want to do in life. It cannot be one thing, it can be 10 things that you want to do. Just do them well, It's as simple as that. We just complicate our life too much. We give too much importance to ourselves. We are a tiny dot in the universe,
Mm.
and on that tiny dot, we are not even visible. And
Yeah.
we give so much importance to ourselves. And somewhere I was just reading as like you've got, some 80 summers in your life. And
Yeah,
I never realized that until I read that.
so true. That's so
I
true.
was like, really? Just 80?
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden that number seems so small. When we say you live to 80 years, you feel like I don't know how long. It's a huge life, it's a long life. But the moment you just count it by summers or, I'm
Yeah.
like, just that? And am I not? So you have to do everything that you want to do in your life now.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, as we say, zindagi na milegi dobara. So just live it, live the moment, do what you want to do, go all out. Don't give too much importance to everything around you. Not everything will fall in place the way you assume it to be.
Yeah, true. So very well. Yes, you're so right. Zindagi na milegi dobara. So do it now. That is so, so
What
very well said.
now? Yeah.
So, yes, this is a very, very positive way of thinking, but a little on the, how should I say, the reality, the practical side, where when we look around us, we find that though women are following their dreams and passions and doing all of those things that they want to do, but they still face challenges, still face biases. So, if you look around you, what are some of these biases that you think are still, blocking our way or creating hurdles in our way?
Sangeeta, unfortunately, we've lived in those times and we still are, of course, a lot of people are trying to take initiatives, but where we are undermined in every field as females.
Mm,
Uh, when I used to mentor few females at work as well, and I now mentor few female artists too. There's so much of social stigma about should you do this, should you not do this.
mm,
But my question is, who is the one to decide that for you?
mm, mm,
uh do you have a courage to convince them? Because you cannot always just say that, I have to do this, so I'm doing this. you
mm,
know
mm.
you're emotionally attached to people. You
Yeah,
have relationships to maintain, as you said. When we look at practicality of things,
yeah,
that was a very peppy talk that I did in the previous question. But when we look at the practicality of things, yes, you care for the people around you.
yeah.
Being humans, we are more being females, we are more empathetic.
True, true.
It's very hard for us to disconnect and
Yeah.
take an action. So it's very important to take people in confidence. That's what
Okay.
I said, even earlier, that when you are taking a risk, a bigger risk in life,
Yeah,
it is very important to have your, that close support system. It could be your family, it could be your friends, it could be your mentors, it could be your colleagues, whosoever it is. It is very important to have them in confidence.
mm,
And the only way you can do that is by by being by voicing out your ideas, by talking to them, by convincing them that what you are trying to do is is what you believe in.
mm.
uh it would not happen all the time.
Okay.
You would have rejections. People would ridicule you for, really, do you think this is gonna work? All
Mm,
of those are gonna happen, but should it derail you from thinking about those, exploring those? So do your groundwork well. It is very, very important.
mm,
And when it comes to prove, again, burden of expectations, we want to prove it to the world that what we're doing is right.
mm.
Prove it to yourself first. Think that what you are trying to do is achievable.
Yeah, yeah,
You cannot be in a dreamland or a fairyland thinking, I'm gonna fly to the moon, right? You
yeah,
cannot.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
so have realistic goals. Convince yourself. Align all the resources that are possible.
mm,
uh, I had a little bit of resources to start this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yes, then I had to start asking for help. I was like, I don't have funds for this. I don't have funds for that. I
Mm,
cannot do this. I don't have a real estate for this. What do I do with this?
mm,
So it's very important to say where you need help. It
yeah.
is very important, and that's the only way you can overcome problems. You cannot win the battle yourself. You need a village to help you out. You need people around you. You need uh, all kind of support, emotional support, one,
Mm,
financial support, two,
yes.
and then you need to have, you need to do the groundwork. You need to be educated enough or knowledgeable enough for the risk that you're trying to take. Uh, yes, you will have to put 200% being a female.
Mm, mm,
It's
mm,
always the case.
mm,
Uh, that doesn't mean that men are not helping. They are helping, but uh, they've always got things easier than us females, right? Uh, but it's not something which stops you from trying harder, you know. As long as your efforts are honest, as long as you're trying hard, things will align. Believe in yourself, have that confidence.
mm,
When I started this, definitely, there were a lot of people who were doubting. My colleagues, they kept reaching out to me, "Are you joining back? Are you joining back?" It's like, no, I'm doing this.
mm, mm,
And eventually now, few of my colleagues are my collectors. Few of my colleagues come to my events, and I donate my artworks to some charities and this and that. So, over a period of time, I've started getting that acceptance socially, economically from people around me. But it took me 4 years.
yeah. Yeah.
You should have that courage to just stick to your, but take calculated risk. You cannot be impractical in your approach.
Anti-dash.
um and don't let these biases bother you at all. They exist, yes. Accepting them or acknowledging them is fine. you know it's just fine till that point. Beyond that, you cannot change anything. So give your best, prove it to the world that you can do it. It's not that hard, trust me. It's
Mm,
just not that hard. I remember an incident when I was in a meeting uh, during my earlier life,
mm,
and I gave some suggestion in a board meeting, and then this guy said, "You know what? I think we should be doing this."
mm, mm,
And this was a habit of this guy all the time.
yeah.
Whatever good ideas would come in the meeting, and being a female, it was easier for him to undermine me and just take
Yeah.
the credit.
Yeah.
And that was such a repetitive behavior, and I was tired. I said, "Thank you so much for echoing what I just said."
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
And that was the day
Yeah.
he stopped saying those things.
Right. Right. So you nipped it in the bud, so to say.
It is important. Do it gracefully. You
Yes.
know, you cannot get dirty with these things. You have to just do things gracefully, but make your voice heard. Make
Yes.
your voice heard in a boardroom, in an artist reception, in a dinner out, wherever.
Hmm.
Make your voice heard, but do it gracefully.
Yes. That is so true.
Nobody hears a scream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody, it just falls here and just goes out, right? And then one scream turns into many more. But when you do it gracefully, subtly, it
Yeah.
stays.
Yeah. 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 Very well said. Very valid. So, talking about making your voice heard or making a point, how
Right,
do you think platforms like these, the one on which the two of us are right now, how do you
right.
think such kind of platforms help women in making their voices heard?
Sometimes we just want somebody to tell us that what you're doing is right.
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah,
with these stories, these experiences that you share through your platform
yeah.
is just a repetition of the same message over and over and over again.
Hmm,
It
hmm,
just inspires more people. It just gives them a little more confidence. It just gives them a little more courage on, just do it. There are people doing it. They're living examples of doing things
Huh.
slightly differently than the societal norms. So you
Hmm.
can do it. But at the same time, I would urge that, in case there is somebody who reaches out to you,
Hmm. Hmm.
connect them with the people in the same industry or different. I'm happy to have people reaching out for any kind of guidance or mentorship. I
Hmm.
used to mentor a lot of females during my IT career for the leadership roles.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, and I'll be more than happy to, help anybody who is struggling
Yeah.
with, just their dreams, how to put their dreams in reality, irrespective of what career choices they have, what domain they have. I'll be more than happy to.
That's
And if
wonderful,
through
actually.
your platform you can connect these people,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
are just growing our tribe bigger,
Yes. Yes.
and we are just making our voice louder,
Yes. Yes.
louder gracefully and subtly, as I said.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, very true. But yes, that's what it is. These are women who are now, we are all part of this community. So we are there. People can reach out, women can reach out, talk to us. And like you said, sometimes all you need is just to be heard, just to be told that what you are thinking, what you're doing is absolutely fine. And then you are in a better position to deal with the self-doubt that we constantly are battling with. So yeah,
Right.
fair point. All right. Now, related but yet a little different is we're hearing so many conversations about mental health of people. Now we're living in times where we accept, acknowledge that people are having these issues for whatever reason, men and women both. Yet I feel that because of the various transitions that women have to go through in their lives, because of, the way they are and the biological, the clock or whatever you may call it, those biological reasons, so we tend to face more issues. That's what I believe. And we need more attention to deal with those. But do you think that women's mental health issues, or the fact that they have such issues, is getting the amount of attention as it should, or you think there is not much of a difference?
I don't think there is so much of a difference from probably a decade ago.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of noise about it,
Mm.
but are you seeing as many females daily coming out and sharing what they're going through? No.
Okay.
What's the reason? Maybe we are not empowering them enough to talk about these things
Mm.
publicly, even
Okay.
in their families, right? And you cannot do it just with females alone. It's very important for the counterparts, for the males, for the rest of the family members to to understand that these things are for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
They happen. And it's very important for them to ask questions. Are
Mm.
you doing all right? Is there something that's bothering you? Are you stressed out? Do you need help?
Yeah.
These are the questions sometimes would help a female to just share what she is going through at that given point in time. Because she may, you know, we we as females feel that we are very strong emotionally, just emotionally,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we totally believe in it,
Mm. Mm.
right? We can put a smile on our face when there's so much more going in our head and heart,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? We are sad, we are falling apart and all of that. But the moment somebody comes home and you're with a smile, here's a cup of tea for you,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
nobody senses it, and we are so good at that
Yeah. Yeah.
because we are always trying to maintain a healthy environment in the house and outside,
Mm.
and that onus is only on us.
Mm.
if
Mm.
if if the other gender, men, are not, if they're not up for something, they would say, let's just cancel this plan. I'm not in a mood.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
How many times have you said that?
Yeah.
Ask yourself.
Yeah.
So when we are not acknowledging our mental health,
Mm.
it is very hard for just expecting people
Yeah.
to prioritize that. And I think education has a very important role to play,
Mm.
apart from just those platforms where you can call somebody and share what you're going through. It's
Mm.
very important to educate everybody that mental issues are for real.
Yeah.
You cannot invalidate them. They are
Mm.
valid. They exist. They can happen with anybody at any age. A little kid might be going through that. Teenagers often go
Oh,
through
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And men, women both go through, those issues. But it's very important to share those. It's very important to voice those out. And I think education is the best medium
Mm.
to train the generation ahead to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But for us who are, who are still neither here nor there, we're trying to uh fix these problems, or we're trying to voice these problems out, but we don't. And we think that, we have to listen to our kids' mental health issues. We have to take care of our husband's mental health issues. And we can always put a smile and maintain a balance. This person says, I can cheer them up. I can do this. Whereas you know, it's equally important for you to feel sane. Maybe,
True.
take a break.
Take a
Go
break.
out with your friends if that what gives you those moments of happiness. If
Mm.
that is, if you're not able to say you're going through this, figure out the ways to handle that. And everybody knows, everybody has, this makes me happy, this makes me happy, this makes me happy. They
Mm.
can be tiniest things, sitting in a corner for 2 minutes,
Mm. Mm.
and you feel relaxed, or going for a walk, heading out with your girlfriends for a dinner or a ride, or taking a break, taking
Whatever.
a short vacation break, anything that is important for your mental health. Just take steps, because trust me, if you cannot help yourself, nobody else is going to help you.
Yeah.
And it's very important to acknowledge your mental health issues.
So true. So true. You're
So for me, my sanity is, I need to, of course, I paint, and I'm in a different zone altogether.
going.
But I, I'm somebody who loves to talk to people.
Mm.
I love to be out with friends, love to travel. So those little actions, whether it is, just a walking trail for
Mm.
like 2 hours, because I don't have too much time to take a vacation, is gonna just bring back the sanity of, for me. And that's how it works. So
Yeah.
I just look for the reasons to do things which are important for my mental sanity.
I think it's important to identify those. Like you said, we all know what we
Yeah.
like. To
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that. All right. So, Prajita, you've done it. I am doing it, which is switching gears as far as careers are concerned. And of course, we spoke about it earlier as well.
Right.
If we look around us, a lot of people are doing this nowadays, either
Yeah.
they're completely switching the way you have done, or they are adding on something to their existing careers, like which are, I say, the softer options. Like if you're a doctor, you start singing, or you start writing, or you start painting. You could be doing anything, and which I
Hmm.
like to term as midlife rebooting. So, why do you think this is happening, or why is it on the rise now? I mean, are we trying to say that the generation before us did not have any? I mean, they did not have any hobbies, or they did not want to switch. So why didn't they, and why are we doing it? So, what are your views on it?
I think, the biggest catalyst for this was COVID.
Okay.
Trust me,
Hmm.
it put all of us on such a shaky ground
Hmm.
that we have not encountered in our lifetime.
Yeah, yeah.
And believe me, when I made this transition, the first thing I told myself was like, I want to do this at
Mm.
some point in my life. I don't know how much more life is ahead of me. If I
Mm.
have to do it, I have to do it now.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a coincidence that was my midlife. I
Mhm.
turned 40 and I was like, I have to do this, and I did this.
Mhm.
But it's, it's never too late to do what your heart desires.
Mhm.
I have a living example in our family. One of my husband's Mosaji, he retired and he started his business.
Okay, all right.
Right after retirement, he started his business, and that business has grown multifold in last 8, 9 years.
Wow.
That's unimaginable.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody can take that chance post 60,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just at 30, 40, 45, 50, you're just talking about, much earlier years of our life
Mm.
to just, it's not important that you completely switch gears,
Yeah, yeah. Right.
but identify, what keeps you happier. What do you want to explore in yourself? You might not be the same person that uh many a times we don't even know what our hobbies are. you know
Mm, mm,
it's
mm.
okay to give it a shot. Go for a paint night, go for a karaoke night, and can you sing, can you dance, can you paint, can you do this, do you enjoy reading?
Yeah,
So you have to just figure out, there has to be an outlet. You
yeah.
cannot be doing what you are doing. You cannot just keep playing to the same script all through your life.
Right,
and
right.
and just understand that it can, a movie also lasts after 3 hours,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and there's so many twists and turns,
Mm,
and you're
mm,
talking about your life. How
mm.
can you just, this is just, this is just how I am. I want to do so many things. This is just another chapter that I'm writing.
Mm,
I may be doing something more, and I'm always on a lookout. What more, what more, what more?
mm.
So it's very important that, and trust me, the thrill, the excitement that it brings to one's life is totally worth experiencing.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I'm on the same, like I'm doing the same thing. So I can so relate to this.
Yeah,
Why is like, my God, unimaginable, unthinkable. You could have never imagined that you could have felt so good about doing what you're doing and then wanting to do more. There is no
yeah,
stopping. You want to
yeah,
do this, you want to do that. And it comes, like, yeah, there is this, I don't know, the drive or the enthusiasm from where it is coming, but it is coming. So I can so relate to
yeah,
saying, yeah.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's a different excitement altogether. That twinkle in your eye
Yes, yes, I can
says
see
it all, right?
that. Yeah, it says it all. It says it all. So, Prajita, what future plans, personal and professional?
Personally, I I want to just keep everybody happy around me. You
Okay.
know, the way uh I've been trying to do that. But at the same time, I want to give, enough importance to my mental health. When I have to say no to things, I'll keep saying no.
Okay.
I'm getting better at it,
Hmm.
but it's very important to just to just know what you want to do.
Correct.
And that's where I'm heading to. I'm like, there's so many relationships, or uh in terms of, the family or friends or social obligations and this and that. Not everything is contributing to,
Yeah.
you know it's not the just use of your time.
Correct.
And plus, we as we say that, you don't know what's lined up for you tomorrow, right?
Hmm.
uh our time on this planet is limited.
Yeah.
Each
Correct.
one of us come to earth with an expiry date.
Hmm.
So how to make most of, the rest of the years, it is very important for me to prioritize where I want to invest my time and energies.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna start. I do that, little bit now, but I'm gonna do that more, uh, for for spending more time and energy into those lasting relationships that help me grow as a human and as a professional, but at the same time, getting rid of the ones which just pull away my energy, take away my energies.
Hmm.
So that's more on my personal front. Of course, invested in my daughters. They're both teenagers now. So one is 13 and one is 15. So I'm just looking forward to spend as much time as I can before they become they go to the college, and they just fly away from So I want to do that personally. Professionally, what I'm doing is, as I said, it's a roller coaster ride. So I cannot really predict what is lined up ahead. But I started with this commitment of giving my 200% to what I'm doing, to this art of creativity. And I'll keep doing that. I'm gonna put as much energies as possible. Uh, I'll try to explore as many avenues as possible, and would keep working on, bringing happiness through my art to the people who love that. That's a little motto that I have, that art that brings happiness, because it has brought a lot of happiness to me, and that's what I want to share with my audience. And at the same time, I want people to understand, the nature environment around us is very, very important. Let's just admire it. Let's just respect it and make this planet a better place for our future generations.
True.
It's very important.
It is very important.
What is lined up ahead for me professionally is definitely a few more auctions for the rest of the year. And then I will be again at Art Basel in December. Then I have two big shows lined up next year. One is Art Expo, one is Affordable Art Fair. More in pipeline. I have an opening reception tonight for one of my shows at Salma Gandhi Art Club in New York City.
Okay.
So it just keeps me busy. It just keeps me going, and I just love the pace.
I can see that. I can. Okay, so Prajita, we come now to the rapid fire round. 5 quick questions, 5 quick answers. The first, what is your favorite way to unwind after a long day?
Okay, I would not say art. I would probably say music. I love listening to music, and at times I just try doing some karaoke singing.
Oh, lovely. That sounds good. All right. Next, what do you enjoy most? The process of creating art or seeing the finished piece?
The process. The journey is more important to me.
All right. The next one. What is your antidote for a bad day?
Go out for a walk.
Okay.
Be in nature.
All right. So, what do you prefer, an investment portfolio or the color palette?
The color palette any day.
Any day. Yeah, of course. I was
That is an investment indirectly. Trust me.
Yes, it is.
I keep blackmailing my daughters. I'm like, I'm going to leave a legacy behind me. I'll disown you if you don't listen to me.
All right. And the last one, where do you feel most inspired to paint? A quiet studio, outdoors in nature, or in a bustling city?
Outdoor in nature.
I was again expecting this answer
You
after
knew that.
going.
You
Obviously
know me
going.
this much now.
Yes. All right. So, Prajita, an absolutely fascinating conversation. It is, like I said, so inspiring to listen to you. That twinkle in your eyes, the way you speak about your work, and it just comes across how much you love it and how much you are enjoying this journey. And this, like I said, is so inspiring. And I'm sure there's somebody out there, a budding artist, who tomorrow morning is just going to pick up the brush and say, okay, there I go, the way Aprajita has gone. So thank you so much for being on the show. It was an absolute pleasure to have you.
Thanks a lot, Sangeeta. I think I've had many candid conversations with a lot of people, but this was really inspiring, because I see another entrepreneur, another woman who is making it big and doing it with so much enthusiasm and excitement. And it's just infectious. So I think it just turned out because of, the energies and the vibes that we shared
Yes,
over
they
this call.
match.
But this was absolutely an amazing experience for me. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
More than welcome, more than welcome.